Hello, beautiful soul. My name's Lynda Gaiao, and welcome to Human Design Conversations. This week, we're going to continue our journey around the sun, and we're going to be looking at gate 60 in line 6. If you've been following the Human Design Conversation videos over the last couple of weeks, you will see that we are actually still in the energy of the old solar cycle, the old experiential way on this human plane. And only tomorrow will we be entering into the first genetic codon gate of the hexagram. So today is still the finalization of the old energy. And if you haven't caught up yet, please go back and look at some of the previous videos so you can see a little bit about where we've come from and where we're going to. So let's jump into today's video. All right, let's get a few things organized here. Cool. All right, so that's me. I'm Lynda Gaiao. And so today's the 22nd of January in the east coast of Australia, and this is a little snapshot of the energy for today. And right at the top on the right hand side in the sun position, you'll see we're in gate 60 in line 6. So this is the energy that we're going to speak about today, the energy of the sun. And as many of you know, the impact of the sun's energy on us is quite profound, and it's worth taking note of how this energy affects us as we move through the solar cycle. When you're looking on the human design chart for gate 60, you're going to find it in the root center, which is at the bottom of the chart. And anytime we find a gate in the root center, we're automatically looking at a pressure, a drive, a stressful energy that's going to come through. Now, gate 60 is about a limitation. It's also the gate of acceptance. And how this gate works is that in this human physical form, we need to come to the acceptance that there are going to be limitations. No matter how far you go in your journey, there's always going to be limitations. But it's in the acceptance of these limitations that we can truly transcend them. And it's almost as if when we can let go of the limitations is when we can transcend them. And just to let you know that new limitations will always come up. So it's going to be a continual process of recognizing, allowing, coming to acceptance, and then transcendence of these limitations. And in this root center in gate 60, there's always going to be this pressure to mutate the form, because right in the middle of the body graph, we're always looking at an individual channel, and this individual channel is a pulse. It's a pulse energy. It's not there, it's not there, it's not there, and then suddenly it's there. And so this is where the pressure can arise, because we're wanting to move through, we're wanting to let go, but we can't control when this pulse energy is going to arise. There is no formula to say, on this date at this time, I'm going to suddenly have the energy for this transformation to occur. So in the meantime, there is going to be waiting and a lot of pressure. And just knowing that just because we feel pressure doesn't mean that we need to do anything with that pressure. We're not required to actually take action from the pressure, unless, of course, it's correct for us. And when we're tuning deeper into our strategy and our decision-making authority, we can know when the pressure is correct for us or not. I will bring us back to the fact, though, that we actually not in the energy of the new year yet. We're still in a time of reflection, of letting go, of really contemplating what has worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and who we should align to, who are our allies, allowing our inner truth to surface. And now we're going into this, in this gate of acceptance, of limitation, of letting go. Now, the individual energy is the most mutative, but it can also hold with it a lot of depression, because when nothing's happening and it doesn't feel like anything's moving, we can sit in the energy of melancholy, which can descend into depression. So you may have noticed over the last couple of days, because a gate sits with us for approximately 6 days. So over the last 6 days, you may have noticed a lot of pressure and a lot of tension to kind of get moving and to get things done. But if there's no energy to move forward, there's no energy to move forward. And this is where the depression can come in. I want to mention here as well that when the mutation does come through, it's going to bring through something new. And this is where the pressure is, right? The pressure is there to bring through something new. On the other side of gate 60, we see that we have, whoa, we just had a little baby malfunction here. A few things fell. That's okay. Can keep going. I might just pause the so when we look at the other side of gate 60, we have gate 3. And without this gate, whenever something new comes into our space, there can potentially be a lot of chaos that comes with that. And the gate 3 is all about bringing order to that chaos. And without the gate 3, it feels as if we cannot move forward, and we've got no way of bringing continuity to the past, or to integrate the new. So if you've only got the gate 60 and not the gate 3, this is where you could potentially find some challenges. All right, let's have a look at the 6th line in gate 3. So on the one side, we've got the intuitive intellect to recognize when absolute rigidity is essential, but with innovative applications to lessen its severity, a fixed energy that is unusual in its capacity for restraint. So whenever we're looking at a 6th line, we're looking at the leader, and this one is particularly about rigidity. So what I see here is, as the leader, understanding when rigidity is necessary for the next phase to come in. The challenge comes in where you have the dogmatic, principled, and carefully reasoned understanding that is uncompromising in its severity and often coldly brutal in operation, and uncompromising and severe acceptance of restraint. So uncompromising that the restraint may become unbearable and lead to chronic depression. And so this is, the melancholy coming in here that we spoke about a little bit earlier on. All right. So I also want to touch on a little bit about the whole channel. So the 60 and the 3, when the whole channel is together, because when we have one gate and not the other, there's always these challenges that come in. So for example, when we have gate 3, which is the difficulty at the beginning, the gate of ordering, and this is what I spoke about, how the 60 brings through this pulse energy for something new to come through, but then the third gate is all about bringing order and continuity to that. And the third gate also helps us to transcend the confusion that comes with any new and established order, so that potentially something can take hold. Just because energy flows through and there's something new doesn't mean that we're going to be able to integrate it into the collective. So it carries the potential for change, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there will be change. And so it's really crucial when you're working with this energy to follow your strategy and authority, so that you can commit your energy to things that feel correct for you, that can then bring about the potential change. Any enthusiasm and restlessness for change that you have can be very destabilizing and unsettling to other people around you. And this is what the third gate can feel like. It's like, come on, I need some change. I need something new to come in. And it's just waiting and waiting for the new to come in. And once again, we still have the melancholy in this gate, because it's still in the individual channel, which then can ultimately lead to depression. And on this side, on the third gate side, it's because you feel like you don't have the energy or the fuel to bring about this potential change. So on the 60 side, the melancholy and depression comes in because you're waiting for something new. And on the third, you feel like you don't have the fuel. So this energy, this fuel that hasn't come through for you. Remember, about anything to do with individual, there's no way to control the timing. So there is waiting and allowing for the energy to come through when it's correct, and then for the right structure to be in place to create or affect this dynamic change within the collective. It's the gate of ordering, but it's also about the natural confusion. And the challenge here is about transcending the confusion and establishing order. But it doesn't mean that you'll succeed or that the mutation will take hold. So we really need to understand that even if the energy comes through, even if there's something new, it may not take hold. So it's more about really enjoying the process of exploring new rather than needing to have it take hold. And so when you have the third gate without the 60, this is where you don't have the fuel. So you can kind of feel like you're really stuck in the old. This is feeling of like, I'm never going to find something new. I'm going to forever be stuck in this old paradigm, which can be quite frustrating. So moving on to the channel, this is the channel of mutation, a design of energy which initiates and fluctuates, and it's a pulse energy. It's individual and empowering in the knowing circuit, and it's generated. The 63 really brings out the potential for a revolutionary change, this mutative pulse energy that you have no control over, but it really brings about the deepest mutative potential for humanity. And it's in response. So it's not like you can initiate anything. It's not like you can go and do something. You need to wait for something to come into your space. There's no creating, there's only reacting. Generally, as a species, human beings feel as if they can create, but in reality, we don't really create anything. We react to things. And it's just the fact that we react so quickly that it feels like we're creating, but we're not actually creating. And in saying that, the more you can be in alignment with your strategy and your decision-making authority, the more in tune and in alignment you'll be with your own frequency to know what to react to and what to take up, what to commit your energy to and what not to. When we have this channel of the 63, both gates need each other. They kind of complement each other. And without either one, you have this potential for the depression because, you know, you're stuck in the old and there's no new, or you're in the new, but there's no continuity with the past and no way to kind of bring order out of the chaos or integrate the new into the collective. If beings with this life force energy are operating correctly, then they bring with them this capacity to empower extraordinary mutation in the other. So that's, I'll maybe just have a little chat about my experience of this energy over the last 5 or 6 days. I've been doing a lot of connecting to the energy of the new cycle. Like moving towards a new cycle, and I've really been noticing that there's certain things that you feel like you get stuck on, that there's this fear of letting go perhaps, or a resistance to letting go that comes in, and it kind of can eat you up. You know, mentally you can feel a lot of storytelling going on, and then there's this physical pressure like, oh, I should do something with this. And what I'd encourage you to do with this energy is to just sit with it and to really tune into your decision-making strategy and just see, you know, should I do anything with this pressure? Should I just wait? Should I just wait? Should I just wait? And what you may notice is that as we transition into the next gate, which is gate 41 tomorrow, which is the beginning of the new year energy, you may notice that there will be a shift out of this frustrated, pressurized energy that makes you feel like you really need to take action and do something. And you know, if you haven't spent some time really aligning to who your allies are and who you can trust, who are your people, who can you work with in 2020, I'd encourage you to spend some time reflecting on this, because this year is going to be really important. That aspect is going to be crucial, and there's going to be a lot of pressure coming from both the root center and the head center as a general thematic for 2020. So the pressure overall probably isn't going to go away necessarily. However, if you can be aware of it, then you can just sit with it and allow it to move through you rather than feeling like you need to take action from it. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have any questions about this gate or any of the other gates that I've been doing in the series, then please just let me know. You can reach me at lindagaiao.com and on Facebook as well, also Lynda Gaiao. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you in the coming weeks as we explore different aspects of the various energies in our environment and within ourselves. Have a wonderful, magical day, beautiful soul. Bye for now.